Hi guys, today is Wednesday. No. Let's start over. Today is Tuesday. I was hoping it was Wednesday, but it's not. And we are going to learn about digestive health for the holiday season slash holiday eating that some of us like to participate in. And Allison is going to be sharing with us today her wise words on how we can support our body. So I'm going to throw it right over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me again today. And I have the chat up, so if you guys have questions or anything really specific that you want me to cover, just hop in there so that way I can be specific for you guys. Because I wanted to cover today acid reflux, small intestine, and of course we have to talk about a little bit about leaky gut and what to do about it. So let's start with acid reflux because it's so common. Most people have it and they don't even know they have it. And we're going to talk about how to treat it too. So the stomach is actually highly acidic, right? There's a lot of acid in there. It's what breaks down our food. It is what kills bacteria and viruses. So that way, anything that we eat should technically be safe unless you're eating salad or anything else that we're not allowed to eat this holiday season this year. So the difference is that our esophagus is not as acidic and our small intestines are also not as acidic. So our stomach is really the safe zone in our body where we have a lot of acid. And most people who have acid reflux have the typical heartburn, pain. They have the feeling either like they're throwing up in their mouth. It can be really severe. Some symptoms that most people don't recognize is left shoulder pain is often related to stomach pain because of how our stomach refers pain over. Other people that I've worked with feel like they're having a heart attack. I've had a nurse who kept going to the emergency room, but her EKG kept coming back normal. It ended up just being all acid reflux, but she wasn't getting anything up. So that's another sign to look for. And then also asthma and coughing. So if you're waking up coughing, that might be a sign that the acid is coming up and going down into your lungs. So when you wake up in the morning and you're hacking, that's not asthma or lung issue. It's actually acid coming up from your stomach. So lovely things to talk about, but this is what we're doing here, friends. So typically we think acid reflux, you watch the shows, the commercials, and it's, oh, we have too much acid. We need to suppress it and kill it and get rid of it. So we take things like Tums or proton pump inhibitors, anything OTC prescription, and it soothes the acid. So what actually happens is that our stomach loses the ability to digest and break down food. And what's happening in most people is that they have too much acid in their stomach. And so what that actually looks like in our body is that when we have stress, and then we have acid reflux. Oh, I'm so stressed out, I'm giving myself an ulcer, there's too much acid. That's actually not true because our sympathetics are our fight or flight drive part of our body, right? And our parasympathetics are our wine and dine, the slow down part. So if you're living in stress and you're eating on the go, you're eating in the car, you don't chew your food, your sympathetics are really high. So what that does is it actually suppresses digestion. So think about it when you're running from a bear, and your sympathetics are in drive and you're super stressed out. Do you need to digest food? You don't. You need to get away. So we divert blood and support away from our digestive system and it slows it down. So what happens when you eat and you're stressed out and your sympathetics are in high gear is that the food just sits in your stomach. And then it sits up against the lining of your stomach and it begins to rot and ferment and it creates its own acid. And then our small intestines don't want to take it because that's gross. They don't want undigested food. Their body's like, it's not going to go down, it's going to come up. So that feels like acid reflux because it's actually coming from the food. So we don't want to take acid suppressants because we're already not digesting our food. And there's a really easy test you can do at home to see what's going on with your stomach. So if you're struggling with acid reflux and you want to know, is it too much acid or not enough acid? About half an hour before you eat, take about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of straight apple cider vinegar. I know it's not the greatest thing in the world, but what it will do is it will trigger your stomach. So if you actually have too much acid in your stomach, it will trigger it and you'll start having acid reflux symptoms. So, that is you who needs to have the suppressive type, the over the counter, the prescription. Go talk to your doctor about that. If nothing happens, or even if you take that and you feel amazing, that means you don't have enough acid in your stomach, and you need to start taking things like enzymes, and that will help you out a lot. So the Terrazyme actually has hydrochloric acid in it, which is awesome because most people don't have enough. So keep taking that. And the key with that is everyone's a little bit different. So if you might be able to take one and be great, and your meals feel great, and you're not bloated or distended anymore, acid reflux gone, awesome. You might be the person who needs 3 or 4, depending on what's going on with your body. And it also depends on the meal. So if it's a salad or something that's really light on your body, you might only need 1. If it's we're having the holidays, right? So if it's beer and pizza and wings and turkey and everything you ever wanted to eat, you might need 3 or 4 or 5. So don't be afraid to play with it and see how your body responds, what you need. When I was pregnant with my son, I think I got up to like 5 or 6 enzymes with each meal because everything was so shifted. And that's what I just played with it until I figured out what my body needed. So the other thing that you need to do, especially with the holidays, especially sitting around a table full of stress or holiday parties, things like that, is to just slow down. So think about, how do we slow down our sympathetics? It's breathing, slow breathing. You can do, there's so many different counts that you can do. Some people do counts of 4. So you take a deep breath in for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, let it out for 4 counts, and hold it for 4 counts. So it's kind of just that square type breathing. Some people like 3, 5, 7. I don't care. The goal is just to slow down, slow your breathing down, get your sympathetics to disengage, increase your parasympathetics at wine and dine so your digestion will kick in and you'll feel a lot better. Crazy things like chewing your food helps a lot too. I don't know if you've watched kids or your husbands eat, but it's like 3 bites and they're done and then they're off. And it's like, well, hold on. This is why you have acid reflux, because you're literally just sending huge chunks of food into your stomach. So that is the best things that you can do. And just try the apple cider vinegar and see if it helps your stomach. So the next thing moving down is going into the small intestines. And a lot of people have issues with small intestine bacterial overgrowth. And this is something that's really important because I've been seeing it a lot. And what happens is the bacteria from your large intestines magically wakes its way up into your small intestine, and it's not supposed to be there. So what happens is when you eat carbs, you get super bloated, distended, gassy. You might have acid reflux and the Terrazyme's not working. And you're like, Allison, I take like 10 a meal and nothing's happening. Well, it might be because it's coming from the gas from your small intestines when you eat those carbs, and it all comes up. Those bacteria love sweet stuff. They love candy. They love sugar. And then they just make all this gas and they have a great time. They have a big party. So if you take probiotics and those make you feel worse, that's the sign that your small intestine has an overgrowth of bacteria, because the probiotics have prebiotics in it, all of that fiber. My husband's going through this right now. I have him on the SIBO plan, and when Terrazyme didn't help him, and probiotics made him feel worse. Things like quinoa triggered him, like all the healthy things, because they were just eating up those carbs and that fiber. So if that's you, that's a small intestine issue, and we have to get rid of that. So you can do a breath test for it. You can message me if you have any questions about it. You can go to your primary care, they'll do that too. And basically you drink some carbs and let the bacteria have their party, and then they will make a gas and you breathe it out. You breathe into a little bag and they test it. It's pretty cool, pretty easy. So if you're having those even constipation, diarrhea, all of it needs to be figured out. Where is it coming from? Is it stomach? Is it small intestines? Or is it the large intestines? So if you find that probiotics are making you sick, that's your trigger. Otherwise, probiotics are awesome. So what I recommend as we move into the gut section of this conversation for a lot of people is to keep switching up their probiotics. So I go back and forth between the Pediasis capsules and the Pediasis Junior because they have different strains and different amounts. And I recommend that people take one bottle, do 30 days of Pediasis capsules, and then do 30 days of the Junior, and just keep switching it back and forth to help the diversity of your gut, to help your body feel better. So try that out. So this leads from, if we're having trouble digesting our proteins and our fats, so you're having that acid reflux, you're having the bloating, distension, that is actually a big sign of moving into autoimmune issues and inflammation. So if you're taking Terrazyme, it's awesome, keep it up. But you have to know that when you're not digesting your proteins and they're landing in your gut, is creating this inflammation, and that inflammation is creating leaky gut, so it's causing those intestinal cells to open up. That's where the proteins leak through, that's where our autoimmune triggers get started, and we have all those reactions. So any skin issues, especially eczema, is related to the gut. Psoriasis, I typically link to the liver, and it can get really hard when you're looking at things and you're posting it on Facebook and you're like, what is this? So if you're finding that you're treating your eczema and it's not helping through the gut, start looking at your liver. So that's your little tip for the day on that one. Gas, bloating, brain fog is another one. So if you're having a lot of problems with memory, that we have to look at the gut and the brain. It's kind of like the chicken or the egg when it comes to inflammation with those issues. Did it come from the brain or did it come from the gut? And the hard part about this is after the holidays. So this is not a good holiday conversation, but after you've eaten all the gluten and the cheese and the dairy, we can talk about this. So gluten and dairy have molecules and proteins that look a lot like our own molecules. So we call it molecular mimicry, which means when our immune system goes to attack, say, the gluten, because we have that leaky gut, well, the gluten kind of looks like our thyroid too, and it kind of looks like our brain cells, and it kind of looks like our gut lining. So our immune system's like, well, attack everything. And that's when we start feeling really down and really off, and everything feels really bad. So if you end up going through this holiday season and you party your butt off like you should and eat all the good things like you should, and by January you're like, I'm tired, I don't feel good, I don't want to get out of bed, I just need a diet, that's probably not what happened. What's probably happening is your immune system got the green light to just attack everything. So we have to look at gluten, we have to look at our foods, we have to look at dairy, and see which is triggering our immune system to start attacking. So now is a good time to build up in all the bad things and then do the elimination diet, because when you eat it again, so say January you go for a week without bread or carbs, like, I don't want to say carbs because carbs are good, but bread type foods, and then you eat it again and everything comes back, there's your key. That's how you know. And you can always take more Terrazyme because it has that anti-gluten blend in it, which is really, really helpful. So the other thing that helps is turmeric and resveratrol, which are in everything that we have, right? So alpha CRS, the deep blue complex, now we have the turmeric oil. So using those will help balance the immune system to stop these attacks. It will help support the lining of your gut to help tighten up the intestinal cells to help support leaky gut. And then we can talk about this really cool antioxidant that our body makes, which is called glutathione. And you can take it in a capsule. You can get that anywhere. But copaiba itself will help increase glutathione, which is really cool. And glutathione, it pretty much does everything. And it really works to support your immune response. So if you're struggling with leaky gut, if you're struggling with all these digestive issues, and again, you wake up January 1st and you're like, what did I do to my body? You might have a glutathione debt and you need to just rebuild that. So doing things like copaiba and turmeric will help your body make more. And then Mito 2 Max actually will help your body make more on its own. So we think of Mito Max as a energy, and maybe you don't feel like you need it because your energy is okay. And let's be honest, it's not something that you take and you're like, woo, let's party. It's something that you're like, okay, I took it for a week and now I feel really good. And then you miss a day or two and you're like, holy cow, that was really helping. And I keep it on my shelf here. So what's actually in it is cordyceps and ginseng, the acetyl L-carnitine, and the alpha lipoic acid. Those things go into your cells and they help your body make more antioxidants, which then go into your immune system and keep that balance on the seesaw. So how cool is that, that we have all of these really hidden gems in all of our supplements that can help mediate all of these processes and can just be a really great general support that are also helpful for our gut and our brain and our immune system and energy, so you'll feel really good. And then we talked about switching PB Assist and Junior to help with the diversity in your gut. We talked about after the holidays, looking at food, and talked about molecular mimicry. So we got to look at gluten and dairy. Those are our big ones. And then soothing the gut lining is really, really important. So other things that I add in are like aloe vera can be really helpful to take the inflammation out and help your body heal. Bone broth, of course. Glutamine is another one that is excellent for tightening up the intestinal cells. And you could add that to your shake. So I like to get the stuff in powders, put it in a shake, and then you're good to go. And then it's more easily digestible, helps keep that inflammation down. And then when you work on the inflammation on the gut, you're always going to be working on inflammation throughout the whole body. So you don't have to play the guessing game of, do I work on my brain? Do I work on my liver? Do I work on my gut? Nope. You're going to do everything all at once with the turmeric, the resveratrol, alpha CRS, the Mitomax, and you use up that copaiba, and you're going to be good to go. You're going to have a great 2019. So that is my digestive talk. Does anybody have any questions?
Iris here, and my husband Rod has really bad acid reflux, and he does cough in the mornings. Are there any other things that he should be taking to, besides more and more Terrazyme, that will help?
So I find that people who are waking up with the coughing are indulging too much at night, and it's usually ice cream.
It is.
I know this game. I'm really good at this game. And that's probably a dairy allergy.
Okay.
So I recommend switching your ice creams over to like the coconut ice cream or something that's dairy free, so that way you can still snack and then you're not waking up with that coughing.
Mm-hmm.
So really avoiding those triggers, because Terrazyme, there's nothing that can outpace a food allergy. You know what I mean? Like you can't just undo food sensitivities or allergies with an oil or a supplement. You do have to eliminate them. And then eventually, as you heal the gut and allow it to repair itself, you can slowly add those things back in if you do that work. So it's not that you have to be dairy-free or gluten-free for life if it's a mild sensitivity. So yeah, bad news. So January, have the dairy conversation.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
I got a question for you about the probiotic.
Yeah.
You said to go back and forth with the PB Assist Junior. What about for kids? I got a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old. Should I be alternating theirs as well, or stick with just the Junior?
That's a really good question. My answer to that would be it depends, which would mean if they're having symptoms that they need probiotics for. So like my son, when he broke out on an eczema patch.
Mm-hmm.
And so for that, we alternated probiotics, and that helped him the most. And now that he's clear of it, we just stick with the PB Assist Junior. So I would say if you're working on something really specific with the probiotics alternating, there's so many good kids probiotics now, chewables and powders that just take a month and see how their body responds.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing it for daily health, the PB Assist Junior is great.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, don't be mad at me about saying no gluten and dairy. I'm mad at myself about it. Don't worry. Nobody's happy in my house in January. So,
this was awesome. Very informative. I love your calls.
I'm happy to help. So if you guys have questions, find me on Facebook. I'm Allison DeBardo Goggin. And my Facebook page is Little Black Bag Medicine. So today I'm doing a Life is Sweet and So Are You. So today we're talking more blood sugar on that page and how to help support yourself through the holidays too. And I mean, we have everything with doTERRA. So use it, try it, give yourself a good run with all of the supplements. And then the key is to really, the secret key is to stop. Give yourself like 3 days off. So I just took somebody off of LLV to do an immune challenge. And he said, I went 3 days without LLV and I noticed a difference. Oh my goodness, my pain. So this is great. So if you feel like, oh, nothing's working, I don't know, take a break for 3 days. I can almost guarantee you'll see the difference. Yeah, you'll know that your body is working and doing the right thing with the supplements. So that's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just have a couple things as far as kind of some of the products we just talked about. I don't know if you guys saw, but doTERRA is having a winter wellness sale where a lot of these products are 15% off. That only goes through Saturday. So get on doTERRA.com and you can check that out. There's a big banner there that shows you the products they have for sale for 15% off. And my second housekeeping is if you did not place a $200 order yet this month, you should have received an email from doTERRA this morning with a promotion code. They're allowing you to do a makeup order to make up the difference in your order to get to 200 to get the free frankincense. I've never seen this done before, but it's exciting. So look for that email. They'll tell you exactly how much PV you need to spend to qualify for the free frankincense. And then if you're going to be placing that additional order, just look at some of those items that are on for sale, which the Lifelong Vitality is on sale. I've never seen that on sale before, and some other fun products. So make sure to check that out. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me or your leader, and we can help you with that. Okay, real quick, we're going to do a giveaway. Douglas fir is the giveaway. That's very festive, right, for Christmas? Allison, how do you use Douglas fir?
I love it for the coughing and cold season. So that's my go-to with black pepper and cardamom.
You just layer it?
Layer it on, yeah.
Oh, I like that. I haven't used it for that. I love it in the diffuser with grapefruit. I think it smells amazing.
That's a good one too.
But the cough, I needed that. That's a good tip for me. Okay, so today the winner of the Douglas fir is Chrissy. Congratulations, Chrissy. Send me your address again so it pops up for me. All right, y'all. Well, we will not be having this call next week because it is Christmas. But we will. You have a question? Fire away. Fire away.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. My question, Allison, is kind of maybe way out there, but it's on fasting. Do you ever fast, and if you do that, do you stop your LLV and stuff? Because I know if I sometimes don't eat and take my supplements, I get kind of sick feeling. So my question is what to do if I want to do a fast, or even the intermittent fast. Do I stop my supplements for the day?
Sorry, the sun's attacking me, and I got to move my phone. I'm going to say it depends again, which I know is so annoying. I love intermittent fasting. It's so cool. The research on it is so cool. But you know what? They've only done research on men. And so I tell the story all the time, is that I got really excited about intermittent fasting last year. Signed myself and my husband up for it. this is what we're doing. Here's our plan. Here's our food. Here's when we're going to take our supplements. He lost like 20 pounds, that jerk. I gained like 15. I was so mad. I'm like, but the research said, and then I went back, I was like, oh, I'm not a 60-year-old man. No wonder. So I do hesitate when I talk to people just generically about intermittent fasting because it's not for everybody. If you do it and it makes sense for your body and you feel good on it and your hormones are still on track and your gut's still on track, awesome. Take your supplements with your food. If you're doing a weekend water fast or a juice cleanse or something like that, I probably would not take the supplements because you're not going to have enough digestive power to get it through your body and still feel good and get what you need out of it. If you're doing intermittent fasting, I don't see any problems. Just take it with food. If you're fasting because you wake up and you're not hungry or you're nauseous in the morning, which a lot of people do, so, I'm just going to intermittent fast because it doesn't make sense for me to eat in the morning. Well, now we're talking reactive hypoglycemia, where you're not getting enough food, you're not getting enough calories, and you're not getting the right kind, and you're not maintaining your blood sugar. So then I would say, then that's me. So then I say, do not ever fast. That is not for you. It will hurt your brain and your body. So you have to eat. You have to eat within 30 minutes of waking up. And then take your supplements with your morning snack or your lunch. You don't have to take them first thing in the morning if you don't have the digestive power yet to do it. There's my really long, complicated, not helpful answer. So
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think. I'm sorry. But yeah, play with it. When it comes to food and fasting, play with it. That's all I can say. See what your body likes. Everyone's so different. Not one system is going to work for everybody, and that's okay.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, everybody have a great day, and we will see you guys the week after Christmas. Take care. Thanks so much, Allison.
You're
Merry
welcome. Have a great one.
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.